All right, here is Michael. Remember him from the house? Okay.
Feels like it's been forever.
All right, here is Michael. A little bit longer than Terrence's interview. Okay.
Recording for Rob has a podcast.
Oh, no reaction.
Wow, thanks,
from
Mike.
Michael. Thanks.
Jeez.
Thanks. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Started the season asking, what would Janelle do? How does it feel tying her overall single season comp record?
Okay. All right. Yeah. WWJD.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big
All right.
plot, big storyline for Michael this season.
Okay.
First off, Rob, super excited
Oh.
to be here. As much as I love Big Brother, I'm also a huge Survivor fan, so this is very exciting for me.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
Obviously, I love Janelle, so coming into the game and tying the record that she set back in season 7 in All Stars, it's crazy to me, and I am in very good company in that 9-win club, so I feel very honored.
Okay. You know, maybe when it's like another person asking the question, maybe they don't have any sort of recognition of like maybe they think that part's not being recorded.
Yeah, I don't think he thought he was being recorded. I think he turned it on as soon as she finishes the question.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So of course, yeah. Michael is honored. All right. Let's.
What I really wanted to know was like, and you know, if I could follow up, I'd be like, came just short though. Like what is the feeling right now? Like how frustrated are you that you couldn't beat it? But you know, maybe after the season.
Okay. All right. I just think like for him, like I think it's like wow, I bet Janelle knows who I am now. Like I'm gonna meet Janelle. Yeah. I'm gonna talk to Janelle. This is gonna be exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2.
You had a chance to take out Turner and Monty. Any regrets now that they were the ones to take you out?
Okay. All right.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Let's see. Let's see if he says yes, or maybe he's got some spin for us.
I don't have regrets, actually. I think on paper, maybe I should, but keeping both of them or getting rid of one of them would have meant keeping Terrence in the game, who I did view as a threat to me making it further. Terrence was somebody who people were expressing they thought would be very easy to beat in the end, and keeping somebody that people view as an easy win definitely makes it more of an incentive for them to go after you. So I thought maybe keeping some of the bigger targets in the game might help me slide by another week if I could, just to be eligible to play an HOH again. You know, Terrence also never really tried that hard with me this week to pitch me on, you know, we can actually be in an alliance and move forward together, whereas Monty and Turner did. I didn't plan on being loyal to that, so I can't be mad that they weren't loyal to me. But it was a risk. I didn't want to have to be in a position to win my way to the end, so I thought if there's any chance that I have to get something going where I can be safe if I don't win the veto, I'm going to try.
Okay. Taran, are you buying that Michael is buying what he's saying?
I mean, it's the same reasoning he was giving in the house. I think that what might be happening here, he may not realize yet that Taylor also would have taken the shot at him. She never had to really show those cards. She didn't win either of those competitions. I think that if he knew that Taylor was looking to take a shot, that Alyssa was also looking to take a shot, that basically everyone was going to take the shot at him, that's when the information becomes like, okay, there's no way I should have not started. Like he's saying like this was my way of potentially not having to win, but he did have to win. And knowing that he had to win, at that point you have to go, okay, maybe I should have taken a shot at the better competitors.
Okay. All right. Question number 3 for Michael.
Whose game do you respect more? The guys for getting you on the block or the women for voting you out?
Okay.
Yeah, this was the way to try to ask him basically like, hey, let's say Monty and Taylor are final 2, or Turner and Brittany. Like essentially, are you more pro the women right now in terms of your jury vote, or are you more pro the men? Who do you really give the credit to? Who do you blame? We're trying to get as much insight into his jury outlook as possible.
Okay. Let's see what Michael has to say.
Honestly, I respect everyone in the house. I think it was the right move for a lot of people.
Don't be a politician, Michael. Okay.
We need to know what you think.
Objection. Okay.
Think that, what I said to Alyssa and Taylor will hold true. This is going to be seen as Monty and Turner's move and not theirs. I think when you have the power to make moves happen and you're HOH, you have the veto, you're the one who gets the credit for it. So ultimately, I respect everyone for making the move, but I do think that the guys are going to get the credit for it. And I personally, I kind of have to agree with that. If they're the ones who are getting the blood on their hands to make the move happen, it's very easy to cast your vote in secret in the DR to get someone out, but to publicly stand in front of the house and make those decisions, I think I probably would give it to them.
Okay. Now, is he saying that he thinks that the guys will get the credit with the jury or with him? Like he would give credit to the guys because, I mean, other than Alyssa, I mean, I thought that the women in the house, those were the people that you're telling me he's going to vote for Turner or for Monty over either of them or only over Alyssa?
I think that what he's saying is that he made the argument, hey, to the women, hey, the men are going to get the credit for this. He's saying that he thinks that is how the jury will perceive it. And then he's going on to say that is also kind of how he perceives it. Because let's be real, however Michael portrays it is going to be how the jury perceives it. Like if Michael goes in there and says, Taylor got me. She tricked me into thinking she wouldn't come for me, but she was clearly with Monty and Turner, and they were all on board to take me out. Then they'd probably be more on the side of like, okay, well, Taylor really tricked Michael. It sounds though that he is more thinking along the lines of, yeah, Turner and Monty got me. It sounds like that's how he's going to portray it to the jury. I would be concerned if I was Taylor going to the final two with Monty in particular. I think that based on this and sort of what I've seen elsewhere, it sounds like Michael will probably be most pro Monty. And I think that might stand over Taylor just because Monty was the one to actively take him out. And if it's Turner and Taylor, I think that might be a different story. It might just depend on how things get there. But we'll see. I do think Michael will hold a lot of sway in the jury, even if they are mad at him about the Kyle situation. The way he left was so impactful. And he obviously is a lawyer.
Yeah, he's
we'll see.
You should have won guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go back to Michael.
Last week, do you think it was fair when Terrence noted that he thought you waited too long to bring the information about Kyle to the house?
Okay.
Yes. So obviously we want to get a question in about this. Especially, we try very hard to make sure that we're not like, tipping the hands of the opinions of the audience or the edit, perhaps. So, this was something that was brought up by Terrence. So getting his thoughts via how Terrence portrayed it to him is a way of just like, what does he think? How is he going to sort of explain it?
I'd be surprised if he says anything other than, I could see from one perspective why people would think that, but from where I was coming from,
I do think it's fair. I understand that people are going to be skeptical about the timing of bringing this information to light. I can't hold it against anyone for, if they don't believe me or they assume what my intentions were, because even though I felt this issue goes way beyond the game, we were still in the game. And anytime any information, regardless of what it is, comes out, people are going to look at, why are you sharing this? What benefit does it give you? And so I can't be mad if people were questioning this information and when it came out. So ultimately, I know that I felt like I was trying to do the right thing at the right time. This was a very complicated and complex decision with a lot of layers. Listening to everyone and how they responded, I do wish I had handled things differently. Hearing how it affected people, I definitely would have done it differently if I could go back, but I can't fault anyone for being skeptical or having questions.
Okay. All right.
That's pretty fair, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. One last question for Michael.
How do you think Brittany will do without you in the house?
Okay. This is an interesting one, I think.
Yeah, because again, we're trying to kind of gauge, like, is he a definite locked vote for Brittany? Does he feel bad about, throwing her under the bus? Like, does he respect her game? There's a lot that I want to try and glean from this answer.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and see what Michael has to say.
I'm hoping that Brittany can do well without me in the house. I do think that she kind of shot herself in the foot this week, having a lot of conversations with people and getting a little bit messy. I think she was getting a little bit into panic mode and spiraled a bit. So I hope that she's able to recover. I do know that a lot of people view Brittany as someone that they think they can beat in the final two. So I hope that she can spin that to her advantage in order to hang on, can win some of these last comps and take out some of these big threats.
Okay. There you go.
All right. He didn't say and then win. He said get to the end. It sounds like he's at least giving lip service to the idea that, like, yeah, of course I still want Brittany to do well. I don't know that I'm like completely 100% sold that he's locked in on like he'd probably give her a vote, but I don't know. Is he like really like full on campaigning for Brittany and the jury over like Monty? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I got that.
I do wonder, just from like an ego perspective, where it was like, okay, well, Michael was out in front, he was carrying Brittany along, that was the perception of the house, certainly the perception of the producers. For Michael, like, is it would a Brittany win be like a joyous occasion?
I think so. I think most of the time, like having your ally win,
most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. Because like, the whole thing is that she was Brit Flea. She was like attached to his back. He can kind of say like, yeah, sure, I didn't win, but I carried Brittany to one. You know what I mean? So I think from an ego, if it were approached from an ego perspective, I think that could make sense. But I could also see like maybe the other side of it where, if you're like really selfish and you're like, I don't want to be outshone by the person I was bringing along. But I think he'd probably want her to win more than not.
Okay. That's our interview with Michael.